Alrighty guys, so this is the Meike 50mm Super 35mm cinema lens, and you know that I'm a huge fan of these Meike lenses, and I can say it now. I was saying Mica before, but it's actually Meike apparently, because the actual people at Meike emailed me and they were like, it's not Mica, it's Meike. This is how you say it. But honestly, they have hit an absolute sweet spot in the market with price to value ratio. Let's get straight into it and check out this lens. How's it going, guys? My name is Andrew Murphy from Down Under in Gold Coast, Australia. So Meike popped up on my radar a few months ago when I first found out about this lens, the 35mm Super 35mm T2.1 cinema lens. And when I bought this and I used it, I absolutely loved it. Couldn't understand exactly what sorcery went into making this possible, considering the price of it. So basically, when the 50mm came out, I was like, hell yeah, let's get the 50mm. And this is just as good as the 35mm. So I've been using the 50mm as well as the 35mm on basically every single commercial I've shot since getting these. And they actually are now a critical part of my main kit. And the 75mm was just released, or it's just released for pre-order. So I've just ordered that, so that will be here soon. And I ordered the lens case as well. So they've just released the lens case for the Super 35mm cinema lenses. So that is going to be very exciting as well. So the Super 35mm 50mm Mica cinema lens is a crop sensor lens that can be used on a EF or PL mount camera with a Super 35mm sensor. Because I shoot on the Canon cinema lineup, they are the perfect lens for me. However, if you are actually shooting on, say, full frame cameras like the FX6 or anything like that, then Meike also make a full frame cinema lens version of this as well. You're just gonna pay a little bit more because obviously there's more glass and stuff involved in that. It has a full metal construction with absolutely amazing optics, has a maximum aperture of T2.1, a 77mm filter thread, 0.8mm pitch gears on both the focus and the aperture gears, and the minimum focusing distance is only 58 centimeters, which is, I think that's actually really good. Now, the main reason I love the Meike cinema lenses over other budget brands is mainly, I guess probably 99%, because of the optics. So wide open on any lens is when you're gonna start seeing telltale signs of how good the optical quality is, and wide open at T2.1 on this lens, there is very little, if any, chromatic aberration, which is I guess again, a telltale sign of a cheap cinema lens. So usually cheaper cinema lenses, or just cheaper photo lenses as well, they may potentially offer a lower maximum aperture, but the image is just really soft and the chromatic aberration is just terrible. So basically, if you want to use them and get good optical quality, you have to stop them down nearly a full stop anyway to get a decent looking image. And this is exactly why as well cinema lenses can get extremely expensive, because they offer great optical quality throughout the entire aperture range. However, the great thing about the Meike 50mm T2.1 is that it is extremely sharp even wide open, and if you do stop it down to say T2.8, you lose a fraction of light, but it does sharpen it up even more, and it also gets rid of a little bit of ghosting and flaring as well. Then if we were to stop this down to T4, it's even better, and it's extremely sharp throughout the entire image. I've left that open to get the aircon in because it's so hot.
Sorry. All right.
Thanks. Now the focus breathing on this lens is really good because it's basically non-existent, and again, this is a big problem with cheaper cinema lenses. So basically, focus breathing is when you focus the lens and the focal length changes slightly throughout that actual focus pool. But as you can see in these tests, I actually racked focus from minimum to maximum, and there's basically no change in the image, which is fantastic. Now, build quality of Meike cinema lenses are absolutely fantastic again, and you know that these aren't going to break easily. And I really love the black and white and just red ring design. Works really good with the Canon cinema cameras, because that's kind of like the color scheme of them as well. And basically, it just looks really good, and it's really easy to see the markings as well. You don't have to worry about not seeing them because they're very, very visible. However, one downside that I have noticed on the Meike cinema lenses is that they only give you markings on the left side of the lens. So if you're a one-man operator, probably doesn't matter because you're never gonna really see the right side of the lens, because typically you have the camera on the right side of, or your right shoulder. But if you are using, say, like a first AC and they're trying to pull focus off the lens itself, they can't pull focus off the right side of the lens. They have to be on the left side if they are using those markings. And the same goes with the aperture as well. It's only on the left side of the lens. The focus throw is 270 degrees, which makes it super easy to accurately adjust focus and dial it in perfectly. However, it makes doing big focus pulls harder if you do work alone. I've been actually using the new SmallRig follow focus when I am actually like pulling focus myself. And they now offer bigger and smaller gears as well, so you can adjust how fast the focus pull is using the system. So that would be good if you had to obviously do a big focus pull by yourself and you had a lens with a big focus throw. However, if I ever do need to make a big focus pull, I usually add my Tilta Nucleus Nano onto my camera, and I have an assistant do the focus pull for me, just because it's much easier than having to kind of like crank it a few times on the SmallRig follow focus on the camera itself. It has a standard 77mm filter thread through actually the whole entire lens range, and it also has consistent aperture and focus gears as well, which makes it super easy to actually like swap the lenses if you have a set, because you don't have to adjust anything on your camera. It just clicks out, clicks in, and you're ready to go. However, I do need to figure out a better way of mounting my matte box and my ProMist filter, because currently I have a thread on ProMist filter. So it means that every time I change these lenses, I do have to unthread that, take off the matte box, and then put it onto the next lens. So eventually I'll move to a panel ProMist filter and then a matte box that can just like basically clip onto each lens that has the ProMist in it. And that will fix a lot of the kind of like hassle when I'm changing lenses and having to kind of like change a few adapters and make it work. As for price, I picked mine up for 805 Australian dollars when they had a sale on it. Which is the perfect time to pick it up. But I believe if you buy it off the official Makey website and you pay Australian dollars, you are paying about 1,130, which I think is still a really good price considering like the amount of, or the lens optics that you're actually getting in this. But I have found as well that if you are in Australia and you pay in US dollars, the conversion rate actually makes it much less. So if you just pay in US and use PayPal or whatever to do the USD to AUD conversion, you'll save a little bit of money there. But you can also get it a little bit cheaper on AliExpress as well. But anyway, I'll leave a whole bunch of links down below as well to a few different options, so you can see what you want to do if you do want to pick this up. Now, if you are actually looking at these lenses and you want to get the full set, which now is a 35mm, 50mm, and a 75mm, I think they are making a 24, a 105, and maybe a 135, or maybe a 16. It was something like that. But at the moment, the 35, 50, and 75 you can get in a kit with the case for 2,500 Australian dollars, which is really good. It basically gives each lens for about $800 and gives you a free lens case. So if you are thinking about getting multiple of these lenses, then that would definitely be the best option by far. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy this review, then consider liking and subscribing to the channel if you want to find out more about these lenses. As always, I'll leave links down below. If you want to see any of the content that I've shot with these, basically look at anything that's shot on my channel, because most of it's been shot on these Makey cinema lenses. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing day, and I hope you stay creative and just be you. Have fun.